Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here to this channel, I play The Sims 4, do creative sims, and also work on speed builds. In this video, we're going to be giving the BFF household a much needed update. This is in preparation for a future Let's Play that I plan on doing on this channel very soon, where I will be playing the town of Willow Creek rotationally. This means I will be playing with all the households that already come with Willow Creek, as well as creating new sims of my own to add to the town. I have a few more makeovers and renovations that I have to do before I'm ready to start that series, and I plan on sharing most of it, if not the entire process, with you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in, I invite you to subscribe. But let's actually get into these makeovers. The BFF household lives in Willow Creek, and Willow Creek and Oasis Springs is two of the worlds that came with base game. I think Newcrest was also base game, but I can't really remember if it came out when the game was released or if it came out in a later update. But it doesn't really matter because there's no townies, there's no houses in Newcrest anyway. Newcrest was just a blank world, so if you just wanted to make your own world, you could. But The Sims 4 base game came out in 2014, and I remember that because I also had my son that same year, so that pretty much makes The Sims 4 pretty much almost 10 years. And 10 years is a really long time, and it kind of makes the base game a little bit outdated. A lot of things can change in 10 years, like, you know, fashion trends and stuff like that. And even though like our world and fashion and trends and stuff has changed in the 10 years, there really hasn't been a lot of changes in base games. I mean, there have been, like, you know, infants and toddlers and pools, so there has been a lot of things that have updated since the base game came out, but I feel like our townies and the houses that came with base game, they just need a lot more updating than they've already have. Like, they have done some household refreshes like the Goth and Calientes, which I could go into like a little bit of a tangent about them because I don't really like the way that they updated, and I do plan on doing a makeover for them in the future as well. So I'll kind of get more into that once we get to them. But right now we're focusing on the BFF household, and I feel like I've kind of already gotten like halfway through Travis Scott and I've barely talked about him at all. The BFFs are actually one of my favorite townies to actually play with. I've never actually like played in the actual household, but out of all the other townies, I interact with this household the most. I do find myself moving my own Sims into Willow Creek all the time, and I think it's just because it's a really nice place to live and it reminds me so much of where I live currently. It's just like a really nice little kind of suburban town where I feel like it's really nice to raise a family. And I also like this little cul-de-sac that the BF household lives because it's like the perfect place to start out, and that's just where I typically play. And when I play there, I usually have my sim become friends with Liberty, and sometimes I let my sims become friends with Summer. It kind of depends on the sim that I'm playing with, and I typically always have my sim form some type of relationship with Travis Scott. When I started working on the makeover for the BFF household, I did look at some other people's like interpretation of them, and I think it's really interesting to see like how other people play the game because there's so many different ways to play the game. And I kind of went into the research kind of feeling doubtful on whether or not I wanted to do a makeover for them and like also make a video on it because I feel like there's already so many. But like I said, like there's so many different interpretations of the BFF household, and most of the ones that I saw I didn't really like resonate with because I feel like they kind of made them too perfect. Like, I feel like, I don't know, like a lot of their makeovers, it was like very like social media perfect, and I don't really know how to describe that except like they like kind of just made them perfect. Like, they changed their body and like their facial features so that they kind of like had this like perfect structure, and that's like not kind of like how I like to play my game at all. I don't really like my sims to always look perfect, and when I do like these type of makeovers, I really don't mess with their facial features at all. I kind of like let them have the facial features that they came with, and I also let them keep the bodies that they came with because I feel like it represents real life so well, because no person except for like maybe twins or something and sometimes siblings, no one is perfect. Like, no one looks perfect, no one looks like social media models all the time. Get like, nobody's body is perfect, like nobody's body is the same. And that's why I kind of like, you know, I feel like EA, they did something right by having so many different, you know, facial features and body types, and I like that type of representation in my game because it represents life so well. I knew for sure going into this makeover that I was not changing Travis's cheese colored hair because I never do. I actually see him kind of like as a gamer type of guy because he is outgoing. You would think he's like more of a recluse. I always kind of saw him that way until I actually got into the makeover and I was actually looking at his traits really good. And he's actually like outgoing, self assured, and he's also a geek. So I in the outgoing part, I don't really feel like he's like extroverted in terms of like going out to bars and party and stuff, but I feel like I could definitely see him becoming a streamer. Currently he is a programmer, but I think I'm actually going to get them to all quit their jobs because it doesn't really make sense, and like their whole story kind of doesn't make sense either because it implies that they're BFFs and they're really close friends, and that Summer and Liberty both have crushes on Travis, and that might be true, but I feel like that's why it's going to be really fun when I actually get into playing with Willow Creek and actually playing with their story a little bit more, because I think I might be able to develop that somewhat. I think the way that I'll be playing with their story is I kind of see them as being roommates. Like maybe they did go to school together and now they're, about to join a college, and instead of living in a dorm, they decided to, just because they kind of know each other from school, they decided to just like rent a house together and live together and see how that works. And I feel like just like personality wise, I feel like Travis and Liberty they have the most in common. Liberty, she is also a geek just like Travis. So I kind of see them like being like having like a similar interest in like video games and like anime and like other geeky stuff. Like that could definitely see them going to, what is it? It's kind of like the Comic Con of The Sims. I can't really think of what it's called in The Sims, but I could definitely see them going to that together. And because like Summer, I think she is cheerful and she's also outgoing. So her and Travis have that in common where they're both outgoing. And I feel like Summer, because she's like a cheerful sim, like you might look at her and think that she's like stuck up and like she only sticks to people who are kind of like her, but I feel like that isn't the case at all. I feel like Summer's the type to kind of like get along with everyone, and kind of like especially like someone who might be, I feel like I kind of see Liberty as being someone as more reserved and introverted, as well as Travis Scott, even though he might be a little bit more outgoing than Liberty. But I feel like Summer, she is the type of sim to kind of like, she's like the type of person that, there's these people out there that are like super extroverted and like it's like they pick the quiet ones, they like single them out and they're like, I'm going to get your personality to come out. And like I'm an introverted, and I feel like introverted people, you kind of know who I'm talking about. Like someone that's like that, who like you're just minding your business, doing your own thing as you normally do, kind of sticking to yourself, and then there's like that one person that is able to like bring out your cool, like that side of you that you didn't even know could come out. I feel like introverts, we all know like this one extrovert that is able to like make us bring out the parts of us that we never thought we would reveal to other people or to the world. And I feel like Summer is definitely that girl. But if I had to pick a team between Liberty and Summer, I would definitely be Team Liberty. Even though I feel like Summer is a good sim, I don't know. I don't really click with her like I do with Liberty. And I have seen somewhere, like I think it was maybe on like a Reddit or something, and someone actually like twisted the story completely where they actually made Summer and Liberty get together, which I think is really interesting. But I guess we'll just have to see how things play out once we start the Willow Creek Let's Play and see who ends up being with who, I guess. I mean, it might end up being that neither one of them ends up with any of them and they just remain really close friends and move on with their lives. I think I already mentioned before that I do plan on getting them to quit all of their jobs. When the Sims 4 base game first was released, there wasn't a university for them to go to, so I guess that made sense to just give them the jobs that they had. But since we do have Discovery University out now, I do plan on getting them to quit because it doesn't really make sense for me personally that they would have the jobs that they have and not have the degree. And I know you can technically cheat to give them a degree, but I think it'll just be more fun to actually play out them going to school. Like I don't feel like if I have my Sims living at home, like in town, like Willow Creek, and they're going to college, then I kind of like see them as going to like a community college or something like that. So I guess in my mind that's what they'll be doing, and they'll also be like renting this house because it's just cheaper to move in with someone that versus living on your own. And like I mentioned before, I kind of see them as like they went to high school together, and so they kind of already know each other, so it just makes sense for them to move in and complete school. And I actually don't really see Travis so much caring to complete not high school, college, because I actually see him as, being okay with working as a freelancer. I kind of see him as a type of person that doesn't really believe they have to go to school in order to do what they want to do, because I feel like he can kind of like see himself as just developing the skills that he needs and doing his own thing as a freelancer. I also see him as, maybe one day like quitting his job as a freelancer once he's able to save up enough money and maybe going into streaming and doing that. I haven't really fully played out with the streaming career since high school years came out, so I think that might also be fun to do with him. And I'm not really sure how much he could actually make by doing gaming tournaments, but I definitely could see him doing that as well once he gets his gaming skill up. As for Liberty, I actually feel like she is the one who's more serious about school because she's also a bookworm. So I feel like she is the type of sim to just go to school just because she likes going to school. Like I could definitely see me like sending her back to college over and over again and just stacking up multiple degrees just because she loves learning so much. And like I mentioned, she's also a geek like Travis Scott, but I feel like with Travis, his type of geekiness is that he likes video games and technology, and like even though we don't have anime in the game, which I really wish we did, I feel like he's like into that, and I feel like Liberty is into that kind of stuff too. But I feel like her geekiness is more on the level of like being into learning, and like she likes science and space. And when we get into the house renovation, I did try to like include like aspects of all three of their personalities, and I also kind of made Liberty be into like biology, well not biology but like gardening, I guess. Is plants a part of biology? I'm not really sure. It might be something else. But I kind of gave that as like a personality for her to like really be into gardening and like growing things and stuff like that. As for Summer, like I feel like she's also going to go to school. I can't really remember all the different degree types, but she'll definitely be going to school for some type of like physical education type of thing. Not really physical education, but like in my mind I see her like maybe she's thinking about going into a career of like a bodybuilder or a personal trainer or something like that. But I feel like Liberty, she's that type of girl. Like she's definitely into fitness because that's like part of her personality. I think it says something about like she was a cheerleader or something like that. But I also feel like she's very much into like her appearance and her looks and stuff. So I definitely, and like also her like personality where she's like very outgoing and stuff. I can definitely see her being some type of like fitness influencer or something. So I could definitely see myself getting her the little table where she can like make her own videos, and getting the little streaming drone robot thing and like making her work out and like do live streams and recordings of that, and her making her living by doing that. And I think eventually like maybe she'll be able to get her body skill up, and like she can like do like personal training and stuff like that. I don't know if she'll be able to make money. I might have to like cheat her money for that, but I can definitely see her having like a career that's more aligned with that than like working an actual job. And I don't know, I feel like kind of working just a regular job, it can kind of get a little bit boring in The Sims, which is kind of why I try to think of like careers outside of the typical careers that you would give your Sims, because I feel like it makes the game more interactive and more fun to play with. As for their personal styles, I wanted to try and give them an updated look that matched their personalities. I understand that EA was limited with base game, and the game style has definitely evolved as the years went by. With Travis, I think I kind of turned him into this like cool, nerdy type of guy. I think before he looked like someone that worked in an office, or he was like dressed more like an adult more so than a young adult. I also gave him some gauges because I thought they would look really cute on him. In my mind, I see Travis as someone who might look really cool on the outside, but he's really sweet, introverted, nerd on the inside. I also try to incorporate this beanie in a lot of his outfits, and it has like this little NS logo on it or whatever, and I'm not really sure what it represents or if it stands for something, but in my mind I kind of see it as his like brand or his logo like for gaming or something like that. And I also can see Travis getting more tattoos, maybe even some more piercings as I play with him. And he currently still has his really bad posture, and I decided not to fix it in this video. Instead, I think I might maybe like, I don't know, fix it down the line as he continues to live with Summer, and I can see Summer giving Liberty and Travis like fitness tips and getting them to be more active. As for Summer, her original style, I never why she was so much into fitness. When I started playing The Sims 4, I always saw her as this like kind of stuck up and preppy girl. So for her outfits, I tried to incorporate a lot of activewear. I can also see Summer being the type to a girl to go to the gym with a full face of makeup. She's mentioned to have been like a cheerleader like when she was in high school or something like that. So I wanted to make her look like this girly girl that's super into fitness. And as for Liberty Style, I think she might be my favorite. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I resonate with her the most. But I think like my inspiration for Liberty was like Velma from Scooby Doo. Like if it was made during modern times, even though I know they had like that remake not too long ago that no one liked. I didn't even watch it, so I don't know if that was like a more modern style or not. But I tried to like make, I don't know. Velma from Scooby Doo was kind of like my inspiration for Liberty because in my mind she's kind of like, again, like this nerdy type of girl, but I kind of like see her like in like these places, like especially when she like graduates from high school, like working in these labs or wherever she plans on working. And I see her like being surrounded by people in like lab coats and like suits and ties and like, I don't know, like formal attire. And like she's coming to work and like, she's gonna have her lab coat and she's gonna like, be like more business casual type of girl. And she's gonna have like, but she's also gonna wear her t-shirts with her favorite or her special interests on it. I think as of lately, one of my biggest pet peeves with The Sims 4, especially in Creative Sim right now, is that when you make a sim that wears glasses, like you have to like select the glasses for every single style, like for formal wear, night wear, like all the different styles. And that's kind of like annoying to me as someone who has to wear glasses. Like, I mean, like I know some people wear contacts every now and then, but I primarily wear my glasses. Even when I go to sleep, I know that I shouldn't do that, but at times I do fall asleep in my glasses. And I wish there was like something you could like select so that like you have a sim that has to wear glasses and like you can like, you don't have to like go back and find the glasses that you chose for every single outfit. They just like automatically appear on their face. And that's something that I was thinking of when I was making Liberty as well. Like I wish I had that option so I wouldn't have to keep going and finding those glasses. And I also wish we had more glasses options because most of the glasses options that we have are sunglasses. And I think I feel like I need more glasses like for people who actually need them to see. So if the Sims team is looking, which I doubt they are, if they're looking for like, I guess like kit suggestions, maybe make one for eyewear. Not, I mean, you can add some like sunglasses to it if you want to, but what I really need is just like basic eyeglasses. Like I know, like I don't know, maybe I feel like, I don't know, maybe like there are like certain eyeglasses that are currently trending, but there's like so many different types of glasses that people wear. And I feel like some of like the basic glasses that they have in game, like for people who can't see, like they're kind of like a little bit more outdated. So what I kind of need in my game right now is some more updated eyeglass options for people who need glasses to see. But I think overall I did pretty well when it comes to their makeover. When it comes to like the three of them, I thought that Summer was going to be the easiest, but honestly, she ended up being the hardest because I don't know, like it's something about like her shape. Like, I don't know, it's like I wish that I could have changed her body type, and I honestly thought about it, but I decided not to because, like I already said, I like my Sims to look different and have like different body shapes and facial features. Like, I don't like my Sims to look all the same or like be like perfect people because like that doesn't really exist in real life. And I really like my game to kind of like be parallel to reality, even though it is just a game. I feel like if I had went into changing like their facial features and like their bodies and stuff, I might as well had just like made like whole new Sims. I really wanted them to like actually be the Sims that came with the game, but they just have a new, like fresher, more updated look to them. And I think that I did pretty well pulling them off, and I'm really excited to start playing with them. They're already up on the gallery, so if you want to play with them in your games, you can. I will put my gallery ID in the description so you can just like pull them off the gallery and add them to your saves and play with them. And I'd really be interested to see like how you play out their story, or if you give them a completely different story. Let me know which one of the three was your favorite. Mine is personally Liberty, and Travis is probably second, and then Summer is third, and that's probably because I relate to her maybe the least. I did really like put in some effort into her. Like I didn't want to like not put any effort into her just because I don't resonate with her. I think it's really fun to do that, to like make a sim that you don't really personally like resonate with their story at all. It's kind of like really fun to kind of put yourself in their shoes and into their perspective and kind of like play off of that a little bit. But I think I'm going to go ahead and end this voiceover here. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you enjoyed watching me create these Sims or give these Sims some makeovers. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed it because there will be plenty more to come, and I hope to see you in a future video.